Welcome to Civil Science Academy. Today we are going to study class 6 unit 5 of the major domains of the earth. This unit is very important for UPSC exam, okay? Now, the solid portion of the earth is called as lithosphere, which means the land we will live, okay? The gaseous layer around the earth is called as atmosphere, and the water area is called the hydrosphere, which includes water in all forms: ice, liquid water, and water vapor. Now, the biosphere is the narrow zone where land, water, and air come together and life exists. Now, we study the first one as lithosphere, which is the main division of the Earth's surface. Okay, the large land masses are known as continents, and the huge water bodies are called as ocean basins. The level of seawater remains same everywhere. The level of seawater remains the same everywhere. Okay, the elevation of land is measured from the sea level, which is taken as 0. For example, look at this image. If the sea ends here, then the calculation starts from this point, which is taken as 0. From here we measure the elevation of the land, such as mountains and other features. The highest mountain peak is the Mount Everest, which rises above the sea level in 8,848 meters above the sea level. Okay, the greatest depth on the earth is the Mariana Trench, which is important, okay, which is in Pacific Ocean. The continents, there are 7 major continents. The first one is Asia, which is the largest continent located in the eastern hemisphere. Now the Tropic of Cancer passes through Asia, and Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains in the west. You can see here in the map Ural Mountains, which divides Europe and Asia. Next one is Europe, lies to the west of the Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through the Europe, and the Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. It is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, and Tropic of Capricorn all passes. Look at here. The Tropic of Cancer, Equator, and Tropic of Capricorn passes to the Africa. The world longest river is the Nile, flows through Africa, and next one is North America, which is the third largest continent, and it is linked to South America by very narrow strip of land is called Isthmus of Panama. Next one is South America. The most lies in the southern hemisphere. The Andes, the world longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south, and Amazon is the world's largest river by volume. The flows here. Next one is Australia, the smallest continent lying entirely in the southern hemisphere, and it is also called island continent. The last one is Antarctica, which lies completely in the southern hemisphere, and it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. These things we should know, but they are not very important to memorize in detail. Okay, these are just the basics we need to understand. For example, the North America is the third largest continent, and Africa is the second largest, and it passes all the Tropic of Cancer, Equator, and Capricorn. And Asia is the largest continent, lying in the eastern hemisphere, and it is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains. And these are the kind of points we should know to build the core concepts. Okay, now after finishing NCERT, I will move on to topic wise concept. For example, you heard about the Mariana Trench, but do we know how trenches are formed on the seabed? That part is very important, and I will explain it in the coming videos. Okay, but before going into such deeper concepts, we must first cover NCERT, because it is the core foundation for UPSC preparation. That's why we are starting with NCERT. Whatever the textbook explains, we will read it, underline the important points, and highlight them. After that, we will prepare concept wise topic notes separately. Okay, the next one is hydrosphere. The more than 71% of the earth is covered with the water, and 29% with the land, and about 97% of the earth's water is found in the ocean only. Ocean waters are always moving. Three main movements of the ocean waters are waves, tides, and ocean currents. And the 5 major oceans are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. The first one is Pacific Ocean, is the largest ocean, and Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the earth, lies in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. These things are important. It is in circular shape. It is surrounded by Asia, Australia, North America, and South America. These things you should know. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest, and it is S shape. It is flanked by North and South America on the west and Europe and Africa on the east. Next one is Indian Ocean, is almost triangular in shape. Okay. The Arctic Ocean lies within the Arctic Circle, is connected to the Pacific Ocean to the Bering Strait. Next one is atmosphere. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on composition, temperature, and other properties. These are troposphere, the layer closest to the Earth's surface. Next one is stratosphere, where the ozone layer is present. And next one is mesosphere, then thermosphere, and exosphere. Now about the ozone layer and other, the mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere, and these layers will be explained in coming unit of unit 7 maybe. Okay. The composition of the atmosphere is nitrogen is 78% and oxygen is only 21% and other gases are 1%. Now, the carbon dioxide plays a very important role. It absorbs the heat radiated by the earth and keeps our planet warm. But when we burn fuels, it releases more carbon dioxide. When we cut down the trees, they cannot absorb carbon dioxide, so the amount increases in the atmosphere. What happens then? The carbon dioxide forms a layer around the earth, just like in clouds. If this is earth, the carbon dioxide will form the layer around the earth, and when sunlight called insolation comes to the earth in short waves, the earth reflects it back in the long waves. But the carbon dioxide layer does not allow all that heat to escape into the space, so the earth becomes warmer than expected. If we release too much carbon dioxide, it will block even more of the heat, and that will cause a big problem to the earth, and planet will become very warm. The density of the atmosphere varies with the height. It is maximum at the sea level and decreases rapidly as we go higher. For example, the climbers face problems in the breathing at high altitudes because the air density is low. That is why they carry oxygen cylinders so they can breathe properly in the mountains. Also, as we go upwards, the temperature decreases. The atmosphere also exerts pressure on the earth's surface. Now, why does the temperature decreases when we go higher? Let's understand. When the sun rays reach the earth, or this is, if this is surface, they first hit the surface of the earth. Okay, this heated surface then warms the air close to it, so the layer of the air near the ground is warmer. But then we go up to a mountain, we are further away from the heated surface. The upper air layers do not get that much warmth from earth. That is why the upper parts are colder than the lower parts. The next one is biosphere. It is called the domain of life, which means the narrow zone where land, water and air come together. This is called the biosphere, and it includes the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere all together, where life exists and where we live. For this unit, this much explanation about the biosphere is enough, and you only need to understand that the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere together makes the biosphere, which supports the life. Okay, this is it for this unit. Keep reading, study well, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and support, and take care.